Hi children, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Today we are discussing about the force between the current carrying conductors. Suppose there are two current carrying wires. The currents are moving in same direction. Then it is found that they are attracting each other. If a currents are in opposite direction, it is found that they are repelling each other. So we have to derive an expression for the force between, that is either the attraction or repulsion between the two conductors. I have to derive an expression. So let us start. This is Sudhir Kumar from Sudhir Physics classes. And please go through all the lectures of this chapter, and you should know some information before going to this topic. So you should know, let us recollect that formulas which are required for this derivation. Okay? For example, when a charged particle is entering in the magnetic field, charged particle experiences the force. So let me take, there is a magnetic field like this. So here is a magnetic field existing, B bar. Magnetic field is existing into the board. The into means. Now there is a charged particle whose mass is m, charge is q. Now it is traveling. Okay, it is entering into the magnetic field with velocity v. The magnetic field is directed inward, the velocity is directed like this. So what is the angle between the magnetic field and the particle? 90 degrees. So the particle is said to be entering perpendicular to the magnetic field, and force acting on the particle, this magnetic field will exert force on the particle, that is given by BQV sine 90. BQ is sine theta, or Q into V bar plus B bar. This part we have discussed, so much we discussed already. The next thing you have to know is, consider there is a magnetic field here now. This is a magnetic field over here, B bar. In this previous case, the magnetic field is into the board. Now the magnetic field is parallel to the board. That is from left to right. Now a current carrying conductor is kept in magnetic field. Now this conductor also experiences a force. See, this is a current carrying conductor. Okay. And it is kept in magnetic field at an angle theta with the direction of field. Now this conductor also experiences a force. So that force is given by BIL sine theta, or in vector form it is I into L bar cross B bar. So L is the length and L bar is in the direction of current. B is a magnetic field, I is a current in the conductor, theta is angle between L bar and B bar. You can calculate the force. Now, how does this force is existing now? See, these two are interrelated. What is a current carrying conductor? A current is flowing like this, means, current is nothing but rate of flow of charge. So a charge is flowing inside this conductor now. A charge means maybe electrons are flowing opposite to the direction of current. Electrons are flowing opposite to the direction of current. So electrons are charged particles. So charged particles will experience force in a magnetic field. Therefore, the electrons in the conductor, because they are charged particles, because they are moving in magnetic field now, those charged particles called electrons also experience the force. And because those electrons are inside this conductor flowing opposite to the direction of current, because that electrons are experiencing force, conductor also experience force. Fine. If it happens that if the conductor is perpendicular to the magnetic field like this, then this theta becomes a 90 degrees. Now the direction of the force I want. direction of the force is decided by the Fleming's left-hand rule. So this will be the magnetic field, forefinger. Middle finger is the direction of positive charge or direction of current. Thumb is a force. If you come to this example, the magnetic field is into the board, velocity is upwards, so force will be acting towards left. If you come to this example, the magnetic field is like this, parallel to the board, current is flowing in upward direction, so the force will be inward. So Fleming's left-hand rule. Now I will take magnetic field into the board now. Magnetic field into the board now. Again. Now a current carrying conductor I am placing here now. So no doubt the L bar and B bar are perpendicular to each other. Therefore the force will be BIL sin 90. Direction of force, Fleming's left-hand rule. So this is direction of magnetic field into the board. This is direction of current in upward direction. So force will be acting towards left. So all these are found to be interrelated here. See, charge experiences force. Because the charge is flowing in the conductor, conductor experiences a force. And that force is given by this equation. And the direction of force is given by Fleming's left-hand rule. Now, if you know this information, then we can derive the expression. And one more information you should know. Now, forget about all this now. There is a current carrying conductor here now. A current carrying conductor produces magnetic field around it. So, at a distance r, the magnetic field is given by B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. This is taking infinitely long conductor. A current carrying conductor produces magnetic field around it at a distance r, which is given by this, and the direction of this magnetic field is given by right hand thumb rule. This indicates the direction of current, and this will indicate the direction of magnetic field. So the current is going in upward direction, so the magnetic field will be inward. So this is the inward magnetic field. So these formulas, this one and this one, we are going to use in this derivation of the force between the current carrying conductors. So now, knowing this information which you have already learned, but I just revised for because we are going to apply this here. So let me take two current carrying conductors. So I will be taking two infinitely long current carrying conductors. Here the expression is derived, and we will write first we will take the conductors, infinitely long conductors only we will take, and then we calculate force. Force per unit length we will calculate. Let us say you have a current carrying conductor here, infinitely long, current I1 is flowing in this, and another current carrying conductor I am taking, current I2 flowing. This is also infinitely long, and these two are separated by distance r. And I said that these two conductors are attracting each other. If the currents are in opposite direction, okay, separated by distance r, these two are found to be repelling each other. So we will be calculating this force of attraction or repulsion between the current carrying conductors, okay, using the basic laws which I told you now. So how will you derive this means? First we will take one conductor and we'll see how much magnetic field it is producing surrounding it. And in that magnetic field we will keep the second conductor. Then second conductor will experience the force because it is kept in magnetic field. And applying Fleming's left-hand rule, we will be deciding its direction, and we will be calculating the force also and direction of force also. Let us consider now. Now this is the first conductor. say current I1 is flowing. Now at a distance r, this conductor will produce magnetic field. And you know that magnetic field will be inward. So let that magnetic field is B1 because first conductor is producing. And this is given by mu naught I by 2 pi r. So at this point, at a distance r, this conductor having current I1 is producing this much magnetic field into the board. So now I will bring second conductor. I will bring second conductor and I will put in the magnetic field of the first conductor. So now you see, forget about this. This is a conductor kept in magnetic field. Who is producing magnetic field? Different. That is different matter. But you are keeping this in a magnetic field of the first conductor only. But there is magnetic field. So therefore this experiences a force BIL sin theta. So let me take the second conductor. Let the current in this is I2. So a second conductor having current I2 is kept in the magnetic field of the first conductor. That is the story here. Therefore, this second conductor will experience the force BIL sin theta. So the force acting on second conductor due to first conductor. So on second conductor due to first conductor is written as F21. And this is given by, so independently this is kept in magnetic field, you think now, okay? So what is the magnetic field there? B1. So what is the formula? BIL sin theta. So therefore I means current in this conductor because this is current carrying conductor kept in the magnetic field of B1. So what current it is carrying? I2. So BIL, of course the magnetic field is inward and current is upwards. So theta is 90 degrees, sin 90 is the force acting, right, on this second conductor. Now I will be considering some length L of this conductor. These are infinite conductors, no doubt, but I cannot calculate the force on infinite conductor like that. So some particular length. Whenever you have infinite wires, you know, force per unit length, mass per unit length, you will take like that, no? Similarly, I will calculate force per unit length now because they are infinite conductors. So that is why that length L is considered now. So therefore, force acting on second conductor due to first conductor is equal to. Now let me substitute B now. The magnetic field which is produced by the first conductor only now. And the value you know. So let me substitute here B1. That is nothing but mu naught I1 by 2 pi r, okay, into I2 into L into sin 90. So therefore, I will bring this L to the left hand side. Force acting on the second conductor due to first conductor per length. So what is this F by L means? Force per unit length. That means if we consider 1 meter of the wire, how much force is there on that? That is called force per unit length. I brought this L to this side, which is given by mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi r. So I got an expression now. So force on this wire. Fine. Now direction of force. You know the direction of force is calculated with the Fleming's left hand rule. So this is a conductor and there is a magnetic field here. So it must be experiencing force. Thumb rule. So magnetic field is inward. Current is upwards. The force will be towards left. So therefore you will have a force on second conductor due to first conductor will be towards left. Then what about this? See, these two are attracting each other, I said. You know, they are action and reaction pair. If this conductor is attracting this conductor, that is taken as action. Then, in turn, this conductor will attract that one, that is taken as reaction. So, if this is action, this will be reaction. Force exerted by the first conductor on second conductor is action. Then force exerted by second conductor on first conductor will be reaction. So I will have a reaction force like this. This is force on first conductor due to second conductor. You know, action and reaction are equal and opposite. So therefore, they are attracting with each other with the same force. So the force per unit length on each conductor will be equal to this much now. Okay, if you are not satisfied with action and reaction, we can do one thing. So you have brought first this wire and then you kept the second wire in the magnetic field of the first wire. Now I will bring second wire first. Then in the magnetic field of second wire I will put the first conductor. Then you get the same answer. Let us see. So I will bring the first wire first. This one, second wire I will bring first. So this is a second wire in which the current is flowing. So let the, at a distance r, let the magnetic field is B2. I will call B2 now because the second conductor is producing magnetic field. So that B2 is given by mu naught I by 2 pi r. And direction of magnetic field. So this is a conductor and magnetic field will be outward. So therefore here an outward magnetic field is produced. So this is an outward magnetic field now. Fine. Now I'll bring the first conductor and I'll keep in the field of the second conductor. So I'll bring this first conductor now and I'll be keeping this in the field of this second conductor. So this is a wire. So in this current is flowing like this, I1. So a current carrying I1 conductor is placed in field B2 which is produced due to the second conductor. So this will experience a force BIL sin 90 now. So the force on first conductor due to second conductor is equal to BIL sin theta. B means what is B here? B2. What is I in the conductor? I1. L, I'll consider here also some length L, okay? Then L sin 90. Let me substitute this magnetic field now here. So how much I get now? So the force on first conductor due to second conductor, let me substitute this. This is mu naught I2 by 2 pi r into I1 into L. I'll bring this L here now. So force per unit length is this. So you got same expressions. This is the force on second conductor due to first conductor. This is the force on first conductor due to second conductor. Therefore, I can consider them as an action reaction or else you can derive also. Therefore, finally, they are attracting each other with this force. So the magnitude of the force per unit length can be taken as this. So remember this expression now. Right. So now I'll reverse the current in one of the conductor and I'll check what happens now. I will reverse the current in one of the conductor and I'll check what happens to the force now. See, if currents are flowing in opposite direction, you know, magnetic field will be reversed. The force has to be reversed. Am I right? So I will take the first conductor now. This is a current I1. Now at a distance r, the magnetic field is B1 which is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi r, that is into the board. Now I will take second conductor. Okay. So second conductor I will be taking and in this current will be flowing in opposite direction. So therefore the force on the second conductor due to first conductor is equal to B this is B amma. B I means I2. I'll consider some length L by 2 pi r, mu naught I by 2 pi r. The I substituted I and L. B I L sin theta. B means this. I L sin theta. Sin 90. Now decide the direction of force. So magnetic field is inward, but current is downwards. Yes, current is downwards. then force will be acting towards right. So therefore, let me erase this. So this is a force acting on second conductor due to first conductor. So what is the force per unit length now? The force per unit length is equal to, so mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi r. So on this wire, force per unit length is this, which is equal to the previous formula only, but it is now acting this side. Previously it was acting this side. Now let us understand action and reaction again, because I already proved it is correct. If this conductor is pushing the second conductor like this will get a reaction like this. So therefore it will experience a reacting force. This reacting force is force exerted by the second conductor on first conductor. So they must be equal and opposite. Therefore they are repelling each other now. So the force of attraction or repulsion can be calculated by this. If currents are in same direction, they are found to be attracting. If currents are in reverse direction, they are found to be repelling each other. So this is an expression that you have to remember. Force per unit length, okay, can be calculated by this relation. Let us come to the application of this now. Application of this concept, this force. The first application, you will take so there is an infinite wire like this. Infinite wire means long wire, that's all. The current wires you will see on the poles, that is taken as infinite wire only, okay. And current I1 is flowing in this. Current I1. Now he said that in the problem, there is another wire down. Current in this is I2. And it is separated by distance R. But no support for that. First wire has support. It is fixed to two poles. Okay? But second wire has no support. It is hanging. He says that it will be in equilibrium. It will be in equilibrium. How this wire will be in equilibrium? Just think. The weight of the wire will be acting downwards. Let the length of this wire is L. So weight of the wire will be acting downwards. And the force of attraction will be acting in upward direction. Then this wire will be hanging like this in space. He will tell, we have to do, that's all. So I have to equate this and this. So the force on the second wire due to first wire must be equal to weight of the second wire. That's all. And you know the formula. This is nothing but mu naught I1 I2 L by 2 pi r, okay, is equal to mg. This is a condition. The force on this wire is given by this relation. I'll send L to that side now. Okay. So this is mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi r is equal to m by L. This m by L means mass of this wire by length of the wire. Okay. M by L into G. See, this is also written as mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi r is equal to some lambda into G. What is lambda here? Lambda is nothing but linear density, which is known as mass per unit length. Its units will be kg per meter or gram per centimeter. That will be given in the problem. So in the problem, for the hanging wire, he will give linear density. Substitute that linear density here. G value here. Mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi r here. And 1 will be unknown quantity here for you. So lambda will be given, G you know, R will be given, I1 will be given. You may have to find I2. Or I2 is given, you may have to find I1. Maybe I1 and I2 are equal, find that I. So I1 and I2 are equal means you will get I square here. And I square is, after send all the terms to that side, find I square and find the value of I. Like that something will ask. Known lambda is 1, I1, I2, 2 or 3. In this 3, you will give 2, you have to calculate 1. That will be the answer. Now just reverse of this, you check. Reverse of this means what? You will take a long wire supporting like this, a long wire. Current I1 is flowing like this, but another wire is in space. It is in space, like it is floating in space, floating. How it is floating here? Here also it is floating. So this current will be in opposite direction. Then what happens is the weight of this wire will be balanced by repulsive force. Weight of that wire is balanced by repulsive force. Then same formulas you will get. Again F is equal to mg only, no? So same formulas you will get. So in whichever the situation he gives, you have to calculate and do it. This is one application. So second application will come. In the second application, it is not application, but okay, that is one point to be discussed here, right? So he will define 1 ampere here. He will define what? 1 ampere. What is that? You know the force of attraction or repulsion is given by force per unit length is given by mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi r. Say let I1 and I2 are equal to I. Both currents are same. Then force per unit length is nothing but mu naught I square divided by 2 pi r. This will be the force per unit length. Now I do one thing. I will take r is equal to 1 meter and L is equal to 1 meter, right? Then what happens to I value? Then I will take 1 ampere. I1 and I2 are equal, no? That also I take 1 ampere. So I is 1, R is 1, L is 1. Anyhow, you are calculating force per unit length only. So the force per 1 meter of the wire, okay? L is equal to 1, no? Force per 1 meter of the wire is equal to, this is mu naught into 1 square divided by 2 pi into 1. This is, what is mu naught value? 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 divided by 2 pi. This is 2 into 10 to the power of 7 newtons. So therefore, if you have a wire like this, right? So force on this wire, let us say I am calculating here. Force per 1 meter of the wire. How much I am getting? This much. So now I'll define 1 ampere now. I'll define. So what is this force you calculated? The force on 1 meter of the wire. Force on 1 meter of the wire. Right? When they are separated by 1 meter. Distance is also 1 meter. When current in both wires is also 1 ampere and 1 ampere. They are attracting or repelling. Oh, if the same direction attract, opposite direction they repel with this force. So now I will define 1 ampere. I will define now. The currents that has to be passed in the wires. The current that has to be passed in the wires. Such that they experience a force of 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 newtons. And when they are separated by 1 meter and force on 1 meter wire is called 1 ampere. Once again I will define, okay? So I will take force per 1 meter on the wire. Force per 1 meter on the wire. When they are separated by 1 meter, again distance is also 1 meter. And if that force is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 newtons, then the current in this conductor is said to be 1 ampere. So, like this, with the help of this force, I am defining 1 ampere. Okay? If the conductors have either the force of attraction or repulsion per 1 meter, which is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7 newtons, separated by 1 meter, that is unit meter. And the currents in these wires can be defined as 1 ampere. So this is another application now. So we come to the third application. So one is we are defining what you say ampere here. The third one we will take. We will have 3 wires now. 3 wires. Let the current in this wire is I1, let the current in this wire is I2, let the current in this wire is I3. Now, of course, these are infinite wires, right? So this distance is R1 and this distance is R2. So this wire is A, this wire is B, this wire is C. Okay. So now you are asked to calculate force on middle wire. Force on middle wire. So we have to calculate now. That force on middle wire means force per unit length of the middle wire. On the middle wire I have to calculate force per unit length. Force per unit length means F by L. Okay. On the middle wire. Suppose if you are middle wire. If you are middle wire. So this wire, okay, the wire which is on the left side will attract you. So you have to move this side. At the same time, the wires on this side, I mean left hand side, will attract this side. So these 2 wires having current I1 and I3 are attracting me in opposite side. So I am experiencing 2 forces now. So one force I am experiencing this way. This is called force acting on the second wire due to first wire. And another force I am experiencing this way. This is force acting on the second wire due to third wire. And these 2 forces are, okay, in opposite direction. So what is the resultant force means? I have to subtract these 2 forces. Remember, whenever the forces are in opposite direction, the resultant is minus. Same direction, the resultant is plus. If they are at 90 degrees, the resultant is root over I square plus B square, parallelogram law of vectors. You know that. So the resultant force I have to calculate. Let us say this force is greater. Let us say. Then the resultant force will be equal to force on second wire due to first wire minus force on second wire due to third wire. Because they are acting in opposite direction. So we can substitute force per unit length we are calculating. Okay, force per unit length on the resultant force. The resultant force per unit length on the middle wire. This is a resultant force per unit length on the middle wire is given by this. What is force on a second force per unit length on the second wire due to first wire is what? This is mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi R1 minus, again force between these 2 is this, mu naught I1 I2 means I2 and I3 I have to take by 2 pi R2 because the distance is R2 here. So whatever is common is coming, you take common, substitute the values and calculate the resultant force. I am assuming this force is greater, so you will get a positive answer. In fact, if this force is greater, you will get a minus answer. Plus minus means the resultant force is this side, it is plus, that side, it is minus, depending on what value you are taking. Suppose you have 5 minus 3, plus 2 is the answer. So plus direction is this, for example, if you have taken like that. Or if you have 2 minus 5, then you will get minus 3. So minus direction is this in that case. Depends on whatever it is. You have to subtract the 2 forces and the resultant force will be in the direction of greater force. That is how we can calculate. Now, can you calculate force on this now? Yes, you can calculate. So, what happens force on this means this first wire will attract this side. So, force on the third wire due to first wire. How much is this? Mu naught. That is force per unit length, amma. Force per unit length, okay. Mu naught I1, I3 divided by 2 pi R1 plus R2 will be this force. Similarly, this wire also will attract this. Okay? This is force on, this force will be greater. Okay? This is force on third wire due to second wire per unit length. Okay? Right. How much is that? Mu naught I2, I3 by 2 pi R2. These two forces will be added. Here you are subtracting now. This will be added. Similarly, just think if current direction is reversed here. If current direction is reversed here, what happens? You just think now. So you should learn the procedure, not the formulas here. You have to learn the procedure here, not the formulas. So these are few applications, and a few more applications also we will do now. You take down this in meanwhile. Okay. Let us do the last application. Okay. This problem is a little bit different. There is one support here. There is one string. The string is having a length of 75 centimeters. A conductor is hanged here. Conductor is hanged. So another string of same length is present here. Another string of same length is present here. So another conductor is hanged here. And these two are initially separated by 0.5 centimeters. So I can say now these two are the infinite current carrying conductors. Okay? Infinite current carrying conductors are hanged by these wires. Hanged by these wires. This is the information. So they are hanged by wires means they will be hanging like this. That's all. Right. But now currents are passed in these wires. In these wires, what are passed? Currents. In same direction. And same current is passed, it seems. I. So what happens now? These two will repel each other. These two will repel each other. So these two will repel each other like this. So after passing current, okay, I found this diagram is coming to be like this. Now there are no conductors here. They have moved like this. They have moved like this. Understand? That is the situation. So no conductors here now. They move like this. Why? Because their currents are flowing in these wires. Currents are flowing in these wires. So they have a repulsive force like this. They have a repulsive force like this. The two conductors are having repulsive force. Fine? So now these are in equilibrium. Here also they are in equilibrium. Here also they are in equilibrium. Here this is equilibrium with two forces. Here it is equilibrium with the three forces. What are that? Mg is acting downwards. Here also Mg is acting downwards. That is weight of the wire is acting downwards. And the tension in the string is acting like this. Here tension in the string is acting like this. This angle is given as theta. Right? Like this. So under these three forces, three current carrying conductors are in equilibrium. Now the new distance, it was how much? 0.5. No, now the new distance, okay, is 1.5 meters. This total distance is 1.5 and this distance is 0.5 meters. And mass of this each wire, which is hanging here like this mass is 40 grams. So this is the data given to you. Then find the current in each wire. Both wires have same currents outward. So what is the current in each wire? Okay. So I will do one thing now. Because these are in equilibrium now, I will resolve this tension. I will take one line like this. If this is theta and this is also theta, alternate angles. I will resolve this t now. This is t cos theta and I'll be getting t sin theta. T cos theta and t sin theta. So you need not consider t now. I can consider t cos theta and t sin theta instead of that. Because this is in equilibrium, I can equate these two forces and I can equate these two forces because the resultant force is 0 and these two forces have to be cancelled and these two also have to be cancelled. On the whole, the resultant force will be 0. So let me write that now. So t sin theta must be equal to f. So therefore, f is equal to t sin theta. What is f is equal to? T sin theta. And what is mg? mg is equal to t cos theta. Therefore, mg is equal to t cos theta. So divide these two equations now like this. I'll be t getting cancelled now. F divided by mg is equal to tan theta. Okay. F divided by mg is equal to tan theta. F is equal to mg tan theta. Everything all right. But tan theta means here opposite side by adjacent side. But this side I don't know. But the length of the string. This is length of the string, isn't it here? This is no more length of the string now. This is length of the string. So length of the string I know. And this base value I can find. So I should have a sin theta opposite side by hypotenuse. So there will be one approximation now. What is that approximation means? F by mg is equal to sin theta. I will take approximately equal. Therefore, f divided by mg is equal to sin theta. Sin theta means this opposite side divided by this hypotenuse. Opposite side is how much? This total is 1.5 meter. This is 0.5 meter. So this is centimeters. I think this is centimeters, not meters. If they are in centimeters only, theta will be small. If theta is small only, tan theta is equal to sin theta. That is why. Okay. This is 1.5 centimeters. This is 0.5 centimeters. So this will be 0.5 and this will be another 0.5. So anyhow, I will take this as x for time being. Okay. This is L now. Sin theta is equal to this x divided by L. Fine. What is the force? Right? Force per unit length. I'll calculate. In your force, I'll calculate. The force is given by mu naught. I1, I2 means I square. I1, I2. L divided by 2 pi r. This force I am calculating. Total force means you will get into length. Force per unit length means F by L you will get. So I am calculating total force. What was the formula? Tell me. F is equal to mu naught I1 I2 L by 2 pi r. This is total force. If I bring this L here, then it becomes force per unit length. Understand? I am taking total force only here. Right? So that is why this F is substituted as mu naught I1 I2 L by 2 pi r. Mg I'll send that side. Okay? Mg I'll send that side. This is equal to x into mg divided by L. So now I want I square because I have to calculate I. So send everything to that side now. X mg, okay, into 2 pi r divided by mu naught. This L will come here. So it becomes a L square. So therefore I is what? Root of this. So now I can calculate I as root of this everything. X. I have already discussed this is 0.5 centimeters means 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Mass is 40 grams. This is 40 into 10 to the power of minus 3 kgs. And G is 10 I will take. Okay, 10 or 9.8 whichever suitable. Anyhow, this mu naught value I will take it as 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. Okay. And then this 2 pi is there. So 2 pi I will keep as it is. 2 pi I will keep this. R is nothing but this distance. This distance is called R. Distance between the wires. How much is that? 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. Divided by mu naught value I have to write. Amma. This is mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 into L square. Length is 75 centimeters I told. So that is 75 into 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square. Simplify this. You will get 14 amps. So this is another application of the force between the current carrying conductors. I hope you followed. Thank you one and all.